They have opened up so God can do what he needs to do. Now listen, here's this, here's the scripture, right? Jesus told his disciples, he said, there's a coat tied up. I need you to go bring that coat to me, a donkey. Bring it to me. Well, the disciples put their coat on it. He didn't tell them to do that. He said, it's over there, untie it, bring it to me. Oftentimes, this is what religious people do. Instead of going and just bringing them to God so God can do what God do, we go and we got to tell them all this stuff and we, you know what I'm saying, and we don't be effective. And God like, did I tell you to do that? I just said, bring them to me. So I study line upon line, precept on precept. I study it. I live it. This is who I am. I can't, if anybody asks me about Lashana, I can't tell you about Lashana without telling you about God. But I also understand that I can't push God on nobody, just like when people were trying to push God on me before I got to this place. But so I operate out of a space of love, who I believe the God of my understanding is. And if I'm not doing that, I'm not effective, period. You can know all the word, but if you're not walking in love, 1 Corinthians 13 talks about that. If you're not walking in love, you're not doing what you believe. Remember this, Paul thought he was doing the will of God, and he was crucifying people. He was his conviction. He thought he was doing it because he was so zealous for the things of God. And so I'm saying to y'all, don't get so closed-minded where you're not able or willing to open up and listen. I mean, the Pharisees, they believed they was doing the will of God. They believed that.
But every time you try to tell somebody something, everybody's so defensive. They get so upset. They get so offended. But it's the truth. I'm sorry you're offended. You can talk about homosexuality and people keep ducking and dodging that. I'm going to keep bringing it back because we got a big problem with it. And it's trying to affect our youth. We got people in Dearborn fighting because they're trying to change the books of the school system, putting sexual explicit stuff in there. The Muslims fighting. Everybody fighting but us Americans. And then as soon as you say something about the homosexuals, you're homophobic, you're this, you're not love. No, it's not that I'm not love. It's God, it's an abomination to Christ. It's not that I don't love you, but so, I got to tell you the truth.
So watch this. Because what just came to me now was Martha, where he says, you're worried about many things. You're concerned about many things. But it's just one thing I want you to do, and that's love. You're concerned about many things. We can't say God is God and then not trust God to do what God's gonna do. We can't have it both ways. We can't say this is God and then don't believe that God can change whoever he wanna change. We can't, that's double-minded. Either God is God or he's not. I can't say, okay, God, I've been praying about my own son. I'm not even going out. Now, the only reason I'm taking time with this is because these things trigger depression and anxiety. It does, and I sympathize with you. I get it. I promise you I get it. I hear your heart. I do. But I'm just like, wait, hold on. It's a way because at the end of the day, you're sitting here with me. I'm not talking to America. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking to you. And my concern is how this stuff is affecting you.
Well, it probably is affecting me.
I don't like it. It is, and it's okay.
Jesus said you hate sin. He said the wages of sin is death. Hate sin. You hate what I hate.
He did.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So that means don't do it.
There's so much sin in this world.
But you can't be
and
letting it
people
affect you the way it's
glorifying
affecting you, though.
this sin and thinking sin is good, and it's not. It's got our children's heads so jacked up. I'm sick of this phone. I'm sick of this garbage. I'm sick of social media. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like that's a prime example of y'all always telling us, oh, you could talk to me, open up to me.
And
so the question becomes, do y'all want to hear them?
No, you just said all that, right? Everything you said and you got upset about it. But every time somebody tried to say something to you, you shut them down.
Yeah.
But you wanted to be heard. So see, you gotta listen as well as give it. Let's give it back. You gotta start learning to listen to, and you have to learn to agree to disagree. This is what I had to learn. I was you. didn't want to hear nothing. I knew the thing. My daddy was a pastor. I knew the word. I know the word. I lived it. I did this. But then when I had the bag at my father, that's the one person I would listen to. He told me, you do this all the time. You shake that finger. You got 3 points back to yourself. Check you, and you. You got to learn to sit back and assess and give somebody else a